Hey everyone, Nate here, and today we're talking about hospitality in filmmaking. And what I mean by that is how to treat your cast and crew. Odds are, if you are a budding filmmaker or if this is your first time making a film or a short film, you probably don't have very much money. So, a lot of the people you're working with are volunteers, and a lot of the people you're working with are friends or maybe even family, and you don't have enough money to pay these people, but they're here out of the goodness out of their heart, and it's because they believe in you and they believe in the project. So we're going to go through a few tips that you really can repay your cast and crew just by sheer respect and hospitality, and just things you can do here and there that really make the whole experience for everyone a more enjoyable shoot, and also more reasons for people to come back and want to work with you, because treating your cast and crew is incredibly important. So here are a few things that we think over the years have helped us work with the cast and crew to make them want to come back and work with us again. Food and beverage. Now, this is going to be easily the place where you're going to splurge probably the most money into your film here, and that is feeding your cast and crew and making sure they have enough beverages and everything. I can't stress this enough. This is incredibly important, especially for something like the craft services table, which will be the table that the cast and crew can go to for snacks, a quick bite to eat, a quick drink of water, something like that. So make sure that your craft service table has enough variety for your cast and crew. Make sure there's healthy options. You don't want to bog people down with sugary snacks or salty snacks. It really just can tire people out a little bit. So I normally like to stick with a little bit on the healthier side of these snacks, but also some fun things as well. And also make sure you adhere to allergies. You know, you might have a lot of allergies. There are a lot of allergies. So make sure there's enough options for people. Also, I can't stress beverages enough. You have to have as much water as possible. If you think you have enough water, you don't. Everyone's going to be chugging water. Water bottles are going to be left behind. People are going to lose their water bottles, so they're going to get a new one. Make sure there's a lot of water. Also, just adhere to the temperatures that you're shooting in. If you're in coldest temperatures, try to have some coffee on hand or some hot tea, something to warm the cast and crew up. If it's a hot day, make sure your beverages are cold. You have a cooler and lots of ice around or anything like that. People want to ice their beverages. Another thing is lunchtime. Make sure you have a time set aside for lunch and you adhere to that time. It's really, really important. You don't want to overwork your cast and crew. And if people are expecting lunch at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock rolls around and everyone's hungry and still wanting lunch, it's no fun. You don't want a lot of people sitting there waiting for lunch, because you know what it's like to be really hungry, and you know, people, their performances or their services will start to suffer a little bit because they're hungry. You know, they're energizing. So feed your cast and crew. Make sure there's enough beverages there. It's just incredibly important. So if you're gonna splurge on that. Proper paperwork. Now, this is something that it's all about planning. Especially when it comes to your entire shoot, when it comes to shot lists, when it comes to scripts, but also when it comes to the materials you're going to need for your cast and crew. Everything boils down to planning. You always want to be as organized as possible. And if these are newer actors or they're newer crew members, they might not bring their own script. They might not have everything they need because they might not even know what they need. So always have shoot schedules on hand for your DP or for some of the cast and crew, just so they can keep in line. It's always nice for people to see what the next shot's going to be to set up. As for scripts, I always have scripts on hand for all the cast of characters that we're shooting that day. And sometimes it's just nice to highlight their lines individually and have their name on their own script. It makes them feel a little bit more important, and it also just organizes them, so if they need to real quick grab the script and look at what their lines are, it's highlighted nicely for them right there. So it's really all about organizing for your cast and crew and just making sure they have the proper materials, because you're the one in charge. So you're the one to make sure that they do have the proper tools to make this a successful shoot. Facilities and amenities. This is something that is pretty simple, I suppose, but it's also just as important as anything else, I guess. I mean, wherever you're shooting, make sure you know where the bathrooms are. Make sure the bathrooms are clean. Make sure there's enough toilet paper for everybody. If you're shooting at someone's apartment, make sure everything is being replaced in the bathroom. And also, if there's an intimate scene or if there's, you know, kissing, hugging, anything involved in the scene, I like to have mints or cologne or perfume around. I think it's a nice touch for your actors to get a little bit more comfortable and maybe some more uncomfortable scenes. So just make sure you're prepared, because there's a lot of people on set. That's a lot of people that need to use the restrooms. Reasonable hours. So this is just overall respect of your cast and crew's time. They're most likely all working for free if you're a new filmmaker, if this is your first time and everything. So really make sure you're planning your shoot accordingly to your actors and your crew's schedule. If you don't need an actor till later, make sure that that actor's not scheduled until later. You don't have to bring them in early and make them wait around. One thing that really can put a lot of pressure on you as a director or a filmmaker is having actors staring at you, waiting for their scene or waiting to be done. That can add a lot of pressure, and sometimes it can break into the creative process. So just stagger your actors in, respect their time, and make sure you have proper breaks scheduled throughout. Once again, it all goes back to planning. Everything about this is all about planning and making sure that your shoot schedule goes really, really smooth. And the final tip I have for you today is keep the vibe fun. Everyone's there to make something fresh, to make something new. Everyone's there for you to succeed in your project, and this should be an exciting time for everyone and a very happy time. So, make sure that there's jokes being told. Make sure you're joking around. Try not to take yourself too seriously in this process. Also, I like to have music playing in between scenes or during the downtimes. It sort of livens up the vibe a little bit and sort of loosens up the actors a little bit as well. Another thing I enjoy doing is clapping when an actor is done with their scene or when they're done with, their shoot. If they're their final shot, everyone be like, that's a wrap for yada yada, and really give them the recognition they deserve, because everyone really likes to feel recognized. They like to feel like they've done a good job. If someone's, really killing it when it comes to acting or a scene, tell them. Really just be enthusiastic. It's your project, so make sure that everyone is following suit of your vibe. You're the one that's going to be setting the whole vibe of the set, and so you want to set it early that this is going to be a really good time and we're going to make something really fantastic. Alright guys, so that's just a few of the many tips we have when it comes to hospitality and filmmaking. Stay tuned for more vlogs like this about filmmaking or about how to keep your cast and crew happy. If you have any advice or if you have any tips of your own, please leave your comments down below. We appreciate all the support. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.